Shikamaru as the new Hokage. Yay or nay? Because a lot of people are saying flat out Shikamaru is the weakest Hokage in history. And if you're on YouTube right now, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell to get all notifications. It helps out, and you'll get more notifications on your favorite anime and manga related content. There you go, future me. I did it. I did it again. Hey! Off the top of my head, I agree with that. But let's take a look at it. And let's also not just look at weakness as far as like, yes, Hashirama had the giant statue and the wood, all of that stuff, right? Pause, by the way, on that wood. But, you know, let's also take into account Shikamaru's strongest strength, and that's his ability to strategize and think 20 million steps ahead of his opponent. Because that's a strength in and of itself, realistically. But let's compare, right? Shikamaru versus Hashirama. I don't think there's any doubt, like, Hashirama, not only was he, you know, beyond strong, the damn near god of shinobi, he also was very intelligent as well. He defeated Madara Uchiha, and realistically, it wouldn't take much for Hashirama to take out Shikamaru. I think Shikamaru, again, he would be able to strategize, but strategy will only go so much of a ways when you're fighting a literal god like Hashirama, and, you know, the Buddha statue and just everything that he could do to him. It'd be disgusting if you put them in a match. Like, Shikamaru would be there crying for what's shorty name's Tamari. Be like, Tamari, please, please, please. So I don't think it'd be much of a fight. So boom, and just in general, even with the strategy, he's not stronger than Hashirama. Tobirama again was, you know, militant. Some people would say he was one of the best of the Hokage because he didn't let feelings get in the way. He understood, even though I think that that's bullshit. I think feelings are important because you got to understand sometimes that's how you balance out the mission. Personally, that's how I look at it. But some people would argue that, nah, man, Tobirama, he knew what needed to be done and he would get it done. He didn't care. He was incredibly strong, you know. He was the brother of Hashirama. He helped in the war against the Uchiha. Imagine fighting a war against Uchiha. One day they'll smarten up and make a big movie of like some Uchiha have returned. The Uchiha are literally the Saiyan equivalent for Naruto. Utilize that. Go sell something. You know what I mean? And just not scratch to sell something. Go make something enjoyable, because I think most people will agree we would love an Uchiha Returns movie or something like that, regardless of what era, the Boruto era or whatever. Which, random note, and I doubt this has anything to do with other than trying to sell some shit, but I was at, what was it? It was, I don't know, a week ago, a few days ago, I went to the mall, and I saw, no, I'm lying, scratch that, I wasn't in the mall, I was at GameStop, about a day or two ago, and I saw they had these Boruto pop vinyls. You know, it's like the Boruto logo, but they had like Hashirama and they had Minato, and I was like, when the fuck did they show up in Boruto? And I'm assuming that that's just them trying to offload some old Naruto stuff or trying to market it a part of the Boruto franchise, now that Boruto is the main thing that, you know, is being used to promote the franchise, whatever. But that was one that caught me off guard. Like, I doubt it, but hey, could they be signaling something to come? Maybe we're gonna see Hashirama and Minato and Boruto at some given point? I don't know, but that was just a side note. Something I saw at GameStop. I was like, huh? What the hell? My man Blue Jay said, I know, bro, getting that paperwork done, though. I'm done with you. He's definitely getting that paperwork done. No contest here. But again, let's compare Tobirama. I think it's clear Tobirama over Shikamaru. Like, and as far as strategy, as far as getting the job done, Tobirama got the job done. Yeah, he was a bit bigoted, I ain't gonna lie. I wouldn't mind slapping Tobirama for some of that. But, yeah. Third Hokage, Hiruzen. Hiruzen was like 150 million years old, still being Hokage. Shikamaru ain't being 150 million years old and doing nothing other than nothing with Tamari. Hey, nah. But no. Shikamaru, comparing Hiruzen, even if he's not in his prime, but in his prime, let's stop it, dog. The ape summoning, let's stop it, dog. Look what he did. He beat Orochimaru. Like, let's stop it, dog. Well, he didn't beat Orochimaru. Well, I guess he gave his life to seal Orochimaru's hands. Different subject, but either way, still no. So far, first three Hokage compared to Shikamaru. Shikamaru's not topping none of them. And then throw in the 4th Hokage, which at the very least in the beginning of Naruto, they hyped up as the strongest. Sometimes they still like to say a little play around with that, but let's be real. The strongest was Hashirama, no contest. And Minato was still recognized as, like, you know, he was the savior. He saved the village from the Nine Tails, all of that jazz, and every feat that we've seen with him, of him having the yin chakra from Kurama. Strategy wise, I would probably throw it that, yeah, Minato has strategy, but I would say out of all of the Hokage so far, Shikamaru probably out strategizes Minato. I don't know how far that gets him in the battle though, because Minato, you know, his jutsu's crazy. He's the freaking yellow flash. Like, you think Shikamaru's gonna really be able to catch him? Maybe if he sees the pattern and is able to defend in time to come up with a strategy, I will throw that. There's a possibility in a battle Shikamaru might be able to outmaneuver Minato. I still think in the end Minato would get the dub, but there is a slight possibility that it could go in Shikamaru's way, depending on how well he strategizes and how much time he has in between strategizing and Minato getting that. Because, you know, if Minato gets one big Rasengan on Shikamaru, he's donezo. He's out of here. They're gonna bring him out on a gurney and stretcher, you know, move. So it depends on that. But I'll say of the first 4 Hokage, Minato be the one that I would say maybe Shikamaru would be able to out-strategize. He ain't out-strategizing the wisdom of Hiruzen. He ain't out-strategizing the hardened Tobirama that don't got no damn feelings. And he ain't out-strategizing or defeating the god of freaking shinobi and whatnot with Hashirama. Here's where I start to say, well, maybe Shikamaru could take this one. And that's Tsunade. I would say that between the two of them, strategy-wise, Shikamaru is leaps and bounds. We've seen that his strategy is unparalleled. As a child, he was already incredible with it, and he's only gotten better since. We saw that, you know, in the battle against Madara, which, don't get me wrong, Madara was on another level, but we saw that in the battle against Madara, Tsunade, while she gave it her all, strategy-wise, she wasn't really on top of her A game, and she still took the L at Madara in the end and got cut in half. Again, crazy ball game, because we're comparing Edo Madara fighting against these people. So I think he was Edo, right? I don't think he was reborn yet. So that's a crazy comparison. But even then, when a threat like a Madara like when Madara attacked, guess what Hashirama did? He beat him. You know what I mean? So you got to be able to beat the threat. And Tsunade wasn't able to beat the threat, obviously. It's kind of crazy to think that it took a 12-year-old, 15-year-old Naruto to constantly save the village, despite Tsunade being the Hokage, the leader. But comparatively speaking, I feel like Shikamaru could, because, like, even let's go back to when Tsunade fought against Orochimaru and Kabuto. She was having a little bit of trouble there, I think Shikamaru, where he's at now, strategy-wise and all that, I think he might be able to take them. So I'm going to say that weakest Hokage, no. Because I would say that possibly Tsunade, like strength-wise, don't get me wrong, strength-wise, if she gets one punch, all it would take is one punch, and Shikamaru's gone. That's the thing, that Shikamaru's defenses probably are like the weakest of all the Hokage, period. Like, any one of the first 5 is taking him out. One hit, it's done. But I think Tsunade would be the best bet that he would have over her. Strategy-wise, he out-strategizes her. Defense-wise, I think they're both not the greatest at defense. Strength-wise, just physical strength capabilities and whatnot, and jutsu, Tsunade dusts him. Not to mention endurance-wise, Tsunade dusts him as well, because she has the Byakugo, and we've seen her go for a while. So endurance-wise, I think Tsunade gets him as well. But I think strategy-wise and defense-wise, he'd be able to outmaneuver her. So I'd say that out of all of them, maybe Tsunade would be the one that Shikamaru could take out based on what we've seen in the series. Yo, what's going on, Jay? Now we're talking about Shikamaru as a Hokage and where he ranks and whatnot. We're already up to Tsunade, and out of all the Hokage, 1 through 5, I said so far Tsunade would be the one that he might be able to take. Minato, he might if he out-strategizes him, but I think even Minato would get him. I think Tsunade would be the only one where I could fairly surely say that I think he'd get the dub. Kakashi. Which Kakashi are we talking about? I think Kakashi post 4th grade Shinobi War, I think Shikamaru might be able to take him as well. Which is kind of weird because You know how the saying goes, the next generation surpasses the previous, like in Naruto and whatnot? That would seem to be the case with the Hokage, if you think about it. Hashirama, the strongest. Tobirama, I don't think he was like second strongest because there's a debate there. But he's still, go to Hiruzen, go to Minato, and then after Minato is like Tsunade. And then after Tsunade is Kakashi. And Tsunade and Kakashi, I would say neither one of them are as strong as the first 4. And maybe you could throw the idea that the first 4 are anomalies. Maybe you could say that the first 4 was just, they were freakish, creatures, bro. Like, each one of them were monsters. Minato was a genius prodigy that was just incredible. He created Rasengan, all that stuff. So you could throw that in there. But in comparison, again, just like Tsunade and Kakashi, they can't with them. And then I guess, there's the exception, because then, as a matter of fact, before I get to the 7th, Shikamaru versus Kakashi, I feel like Kakashi, once he became Hokage, I think Shikamaru could take him as well. So, because I've seen a lot of people just straight up dunking on Shikamaru, but I didn't see people dunking on Kakashi when he became the Hokage. People were showing him love. At the end of Naruto when he became Hokage, people were showing him love. Even with the novels and stuff, people love that. So, and that's that Kakashi, he don't got, Sharingan no more, nothing like that. Which, again, that's where I would say that Shikamaru has the best bet between the last 2 of those. And then, of course, against Naruto. Come on, Naruto. Well, again, I don't want to downplay strategy. I don't want to downplay the ability to think before your opponent can act. And I think that there's even a possibility, I'll throw the argument, because strategy-wise, while Naruto has improved, yes, from his Shippuden and Naruto days, I still think that Shikamaru would be a million steps ahead of Naruto and would, in combat, potentially be able to get him as well if he was able to strategize properly. I'd say Shikamaru is not that bad off. Yes, strength-wise and endurance-wise, Naruto crushes Shikamaru. But if he can get him in the ideal situation and strategize, I think Shikamaru could even take Naruto. I think it's literally only the first 4 that is just Shikamaru would have a very extremely long day with them. But Tsunade, I think he could take her. Kakashi, after losing Sharingan and all that, I think he could take him. Naruto, if he's able to strategize properly, get his shadow paralysis and all that on par, I think he could take him. I don't think it'd be that bad. So that whole murmurings of Shikamaru's the worst Hokage, why would they make him Hokage? It's because of right here. You know what I'm saying? He uses his ability, his God-given talent, so to speak. He uses it as much as he possibly can, and everything that he's learned throughout what we've seen. I love the idea that the same weapon that he uses now is the same weapon that he's been utilizing throughout the entirety of Naruto. Why he was the only one in the original Chunin exams to be promoted to Chunin. And that's his deductive abilities. That's the fact that he's like a hardcore chess player, What is Bobby Fischer? Like, that's Shikamaru. I love that the culmination of everything we got from Naruto Shippuden, and part 1 of Boruto leads into why I think he's not that bad of a Hokage. Not at the very least if you compare him to the last 3 that he could possibly take if it came to it. And yeah, people dunking on Shikamaru is like, especially with, he's like Batman. Think about Batman. Batman, sure, if you throw him right at, if Bruce is sleeping and he wakes up and he's right in front of Superman, yeah, Superman's gonna cream him. But if he had prep time, he's shown that, let this be a lesson that I'm the one man you couldn't beat. Pow! You know what I mean? Shikamaru like that Batman. I don't know, man. In my opinion, I think whatever Otsutsuki he faces, no amount of prep time helping him. I don't know. Well, that absorption thing is a cheat. That absorbing his shadow paralysis thing, that's a massive cheat. But even then, that's where you got to step your game up. If you know that the opponent is able to absorb your jutsu, do something else. Do something else. You dig? Between Sasuke's whereabouts and Shikamaru as a Hokage, is Shikamaru the worst Hokage in Naruto/Boruto history?
This is for my day one. This is for my day one.
I would like to thank each and every person that has taken time to listen and provide feedback for my new album that is out right now, The Rise of Tim Roosevelt. You can listen to it on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, pretty much anywhere you get your music. You can listen to it. Link in the description below so you could go check it out for yourself. Thank you so much, and let's keep on rocking out, you know?